It's 3 days from the election, and you want to talk to somebody about it? I'm going to start off by disappointing you. I'm not a shrink, but I am a tall, single, devastatingly handsome ophthalmologist. What's so funny? At least that's what my 90-year-old blind patients tell me before I take out their cataracts. So, just to explain, there are 3 types of eye doctors. First, there are opticians. These are the folks that try to sell you the glasses with the Gucci frames that you don't want. Optometrists, they're the ones that want to put you into the colored contacts so you look like the devil. And ophthalmologists, doctors like me. Our claim to fame is that we have the most misspelled and mispronounced medical specialty. But the really great thing is that our patients don't have to take off their clothes to be examined. And believe me, for the most part, that's a good thing. So when I tell people that I'm an ophthalmologist, I usually get 2 responses. The first is, "You do eye surgery? That's disgusting," which is immediately followed by, "Can I get a discount on LASIK?" So yes, I do eye surgery, and convincing patients to go for it is not easy. Let's face it, eye surgery is terrifying. But I've learned it's all about high-tech lasers. Patients will ask me, "Doc, how are you going to do my LASIK?" I could tell them, "I'm going to carve your eyeball out of your head, I'm going to slap it down on a cutting board, I'm going to chop it into a million little pieces, crush it into a pulp, and stuff that back into your skull." As long as I tell them it's done by laser, they're like, "Sign me up." And if you're wondering if we play with the lasers when you guys are not around, yes, we do. Personally, I like to shoot the letters off of pens. Another thing you should know is when you come in and tell me that your eyes itch and burn, I don't give a shit. There are 3 patients down the hall that are going blind. We even have a name for you, the Itchy Bernies. And we are going to try to sell you a little bottle of eye drops for $100 that you can get at CVS for $10. So there are some good things and bad things about being an ophthalmologist. The good things are I get a great discount on glasses and a lot of dates on eHarmony. The bad thing is that I have to have dinner with other snobby ophthalmologists. Listening to these guys try to select a bottle of wine is like listening to a bunch of little kids argue over whether Spider-Man or Superman would win a fight to the death. Nobody cares. These guys are going to launch into their pretentious wine talk. You know what I'm talking about. They hold the glass by the stem, swirl it around, stick their nose in there, and pronounce, "This wine has a big nose, great legs, and a hint of rancid truffles." But I've learned how to decode the wine talk. If you want to sound like you know what you're talking about when it comes to wine, just use adjectives that should never be associated with food or any beverage, such as, "This wine is friendly," or "This wine is voluptuous and available," or "This wine has a big nose, great legs, and a nice ass." Wine drinkers back there. So have you guys seen this new commercial for Mercedes on TV? This is a real commercial. What they're doing is they're trying to sell a new option for their cars. It's a device that's mounted next to the driver, and the driver can write on there, and the car will read the driver's handwriting. So you can't text in the car, but now it's okay to write in the car. This makes absolutely no sense. What they should have done is they should have had the device read the driver's fortune. So the guy puts his hand on there, and the car says, "Dude, you spent $100,000 on this car, but you're still not going to get laid." Hope there's no Mercedes owners here. So I have a patient who owns a hair salon. It's called the Isis Hair Salon. This is true. Isis is the Greek god of fertility. And because of what's going on in the Middle East, she wants to change the name. So she spent $5,000 to change the name. It's now the Al-Qaeda Hair Salon. Have you guys, let's go back to the eye jokes. So sometimes when I'm looking into a patient's eyes, they'll say, "Doc, can you see my brain?" And I have to tell them, "No, but I can see your soul, and I don't like what I'm seeing back there, I'm going to have to refer you to a specialist, Father Donovan. And we've been looking for new sources of revenue in the practice. You've heard about Obamacare cracking down on doctors. So we've opened the Eye for an Eye Justice Center. Our slogan is biblical revenge done by laser. Have you guys heard about medical tourism? You know what this is? Yeah? Okay. Well, then I'm just going to go right into the jokes. You know, in the United States, a hip replacement costs about $50,000. You can get one in Holland for $4,000. What they don't tell you is that it only works if you're wearing wooden shoes. And I know a guy who went to Iraq for a kidney transplant. What they didn't tell him is that it explodes if he goes near a federal building. And you don't want to go to Israel for a nose job, because it's going to cost you even more over there, because they're going to make it bigger, like mine. So sometimes I got to wrap it up. Sometimes when I get my personal life and my professional life confused, like I'll be in the bedroom with a lady and I want to please her, I find myself asking, better one or better two? And you guys have heard that masturbation causes blindness? Yes? No? Well, I'm here to tell you that that's true. When you come in and you get the dilated exam, I look in the back of your eyes, I can see your entire sexual history. All the partners you've had, all the sexual acts you performed, any STDs. For $5,000, we will completely expunge that record. It's called lay sex. But we can't get rid of the masturbation. That's my time. Thank you.
Nice job, Brian.